everybody, and welcome back to another video. And if you're here for the very first time, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you. I'm Jane. My husband Mike is behind the camera. We're British, early retirees. We've got no debt, we've paid off the mortgage, and we live a thrifty, frugal and money-saving life here in Brittany in northwest France. And every Friday we bring you something food related. Now sometimes it's a shopping haul, sometimes it's some meal planning, and sometimes, just as today, I'm going to cook for you. Now it's the time of year where the garden is absolutely just being as generous as it possibly can, and we've got lovely food in season at the moment. And I'm going to cook a veggie bake for you. It's one of those things where you just want to get in as many different vegetables as you possibly can, as much protein as you possibly can, and just that, you know, topping yourself up with all of that thrifty, frugal, affordable summer food that we all love. I hope you like the video. If you do, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. I'll leave the recipe underneath in the description box. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe. We put out 3 videos a week. Let's watch the video. Let's run through all the ingredients. I'm trying to get as many vegetables as I can in this as possible. So I've got spinach from out of the garden. It will all be thoroughly washed. At the moment, there's all sorts of compost and slugs and all kind of things on it that get washed off. We'll have lettuce with it as well on the side. But in it is going to go tomatoes. And I'm using these tomatoes up because they've gone quite soft and they'll be fine cooked. So I've got some chives, I've got some parsley that will get chopped up. I will slice up the onions, chop up the potatoes. I've got some Greek feta cheese to go in this, a pepper and eggs. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with all of this to turn it into today's bake. It's basically a tray bake with eggs in it, full of vegetables, perfect for the summer. In my roasting dish, you can see I have sweet potato and onions all chopped up. And I've got my pepper, I'm about to chop that up as well. Now when I put together meals like this, I'm using up everything I've got. And these vegetables roast really well. And if you weren't going to make the bake that I was going to make, you could just have these roasted as a side dish, just as they are. So I'm adding in some olive oil, and if you're wondering what the seasoning I have, it's a French seasoning that they call persilade or however it is pronounced. And it is garlic, salt and parsley, and it works really well with roasted vegetables. When we're trying to eat as many vegetables as possible, we need to remember as well that herbs are part of those vegetables. They're full of nutrients as well as packing colour and loads of flavour into our meals. Absolutely love spinach, and if you didn't know, you can just cut it in the garden and it just grows again, and you've just got this lovely vegetable to add in all summer long. You can eat it raw, or just like us today, you can pop it into a bake. It goes really well with potatoes and eggs. Let's prepare these eggs. So I've got my free range local eggs and get them into a bowl. And then I will open up the feta cheese and crumble it in there. You don't need a lot of seasoning when you're using feta cheese because it really is quite salty. So here it is out of the oven. All the vegetables have been roasted and now I'm just going to construct everything and get it all together. I've got my herbs in, I'm going to get the spinach in, I'll mix in the eggs and the feta, and then I will top it with some tomatoes. And you might be asking, why are you adding tomatoes as well, Jane? You seem to have a lot of vegetables there. It's because those tomatoes were starting to wrinkle. They needed using up and they go really well into a bake. When you see this today and think to yourself, what vegetables have I got? What could I use this example that Jane has shared with us today that I could get something into the oven? Because you roast vegetables, you add in some feta cheese and some eggs and stick some tomatoes on top, you absolutely have a complete delicious summer meal. And there it is, all finished. I cooked it for about half an hour with the potato, sweet potato, onion and pepper to begin with. And then I took that out of the oven and added in the rest of the ingredients, sprinkled the tomatoes on top and cooked that for about another 10 minutes. The oven was at 200 degrees centigrade. I'll get Mike to write on the screen what that is in Fahrenheit. There it is. Let's serve this up and have our lunch. Doesn't that look colourful? All those different vegetables in there, tons of protein with the eggs and the feta cheese, and yet it's still a light summer lunch. You could wait for this to go cold, but we certainly like to eat it whilst it's still warm with some lettuce from the garden. And there it is, a sprinkle of salad dressing, a nice summer vegetable bake. Really, really easy. And I encourage you to have as many vegetables in your bake and use them up. Well, it was absolutely delicious. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the thumbs up button. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.